Data analyst is the easiest tech job to land right now, and here's why. Tech is probably the hottest industry to work in right now, but also one of the most challenging to try and break into. You have to go through so many stages, jump through so many hoops just to land one opportunity. And not many people have the time or the patience to learn all this code and tools. If that sounds like you, then you should consider a career in data analytics, and here's why. So firstly, unlike other tech jobs like your software engineering, web development, and so on, you don't really need a computer science degree to become a data analyst. Okay, and I'll use myself as an example. In my current role as a data analyst, it didn't require me to have a computer science degree. Okay, I think in my role they wanted someone with a business degree, which I had, um, and it's a degree that I had years ago that I never really used, and all of a sudden I'm getting good use out of it as a data analyst. So you don't need a computer science degree, which is very difficult to achieve. I remember when I was in college, I tried to do IT, and I failed miserably. Like I got a U, which is probably the lowest grade you can actually get. But now, I'm doing all these technical things without, a computer science degree, and there's lots of ways you can acquire the skills that you need. There's lots of, you can do some courses on, websites like Udemy. I think on Udemy you can buy courses as cheap as, like 14, £15, and you can learn a lot of the skills that you need. Coursera, and so on. So there's lots of ways to acquire the skills that you need to be able to do the role for a fraction of the fee that you probably pay if you went to uni and did a computer science degree. Of course, if you had a computer science degree, it will help, but you don't need it. And you save so much money by doing courses here and there. Of course, that might you know make it take a little bit longer, but you know you don't necessarily have to have it in order to break into data analytics. And also for an entry level or junior analyst role, all you really need to learn is your Excel, SQL, a Power BI or Tableau for visualization purposes, and maybe understanding the basics of Python. Once you can learn this, I think you stand a good chance of, getting your foot in the door. And the thing with Excel is, in comparison to other, programming languages or whatnot, with Excel, all of us have sort of had some sort of experience or encounter with Excel in our lives at some point. In school, you'd have used Excel to do something, and that's the difference with trying to learn something like Python, where, the environment of Python alone is enough to scare you off because it's so different to what you do on a day to day. But Excel, which is like the bread and butter of data analytics, everyone has sort of had some sort of encounter of it, so that makes it a little bit easier as well. And you can learn Excel, I reckon, can learn it to a good level if you have the time within 2 weeks to about 4 weeks. I think you can learn a good amount of Excel, whereas, other programming languages it takes a lot longer to learn. And also with SQL is not really a programming language, it's a query language, where, you can use it to query information or whatnot. And with me, with SQL, the SQL that I know, I didn't really take any course or anything like that to pick up SQL. I watched a few videos on YouTube and, did some tutorials, followed along with some people, learned a few things on W3 schools, and, that gave me a good foundation of SQL alone. Obviously, there's more to learn or whatnot, but, you can pick up really quickly, and the syntax is much easier to understand. And then there's also Power BI or Tableau. Currently, I use more Power BI. With Power BI, you can do so much without understanding DAX or, the code aspect of Power BI. When I landed my job, I could create visualizations in Power BI, which again I learned from just watching a few tutorials on YouTube. That's it. I followed along a project on YouTube, and I picked up quite a lot in Power BI, and I was able to, when I first joined my company, whatever task they gave me, I was able to visualize it in Power BI without really knowing any DAX code. And if I needed DAX code, I use ChatGPT to help me out as well. So you can do so much without understanding the coding part of, Power BI. So the tools that you need to learn in order to break into data analytics is much easier to pick up than, trying to become a software engineer or, some sort of developer, and you have to learn, Python, JavaScript, Java, and all these complex programming language, C++, just gets worse from there. It's much, much easier to pick up as a data analyst. And I'll tell you what, if I can do it, you can do it as well. Another great benefit about choosing a career within data analytics is that there are tons and tons of free material out there, free helpful material. The websites like W3 Schools, there's websites such as Free Code Academy, and there's so many free websites out there readily available to access. In fact, I also did a boot camp. Okay, now that I'm able to put on my CV and on my LinkedIn, which makes it look good. It's a data science bootcamp, which was it's a government scheme that you can apply for free in the UK. So I saw that I kept on, because I was searching a lot of things on Google about data analytics. I kept on getting sponsored ads about this free bootcamp that the government was doing. I looked into it, I applied for it. At the time, I was learning about web development. I wanted to get into web development and applied for a web development position, and I didn't get that. And they suggested, okay, if we're not doing web development this year, why don't you try data science? And I thought, oh, I have to learn everything all over again, whatnot. And that ultimately started my journey to data analytics. And yeah, I got into the data science bootcamp and I really enjoyed it, and but it was very intense for me. So I thought, what, let me start with data analytics first and sort of work my way into data science. That's what a lot of people tend to do. You don't necessarily have to do that, but for me, I just I had to be realistic about, the time that I had. I'm a family man, I got a lot of responsibilities. I don't have the time to learn all the things that I needed to learn for data science. So I started with data analytics, and I'm enjoying it quite a lot. But yeah, I did all of that for free, and the only thing I really paid for was a course on Coursera, and that was like about 30 something odd a month. But because I already knew so much already that I've learned online for free on YouTube and Free Code Academy and all of that stuff for free, I breezed through the course. The course is meant to take 6 months. I've done it within about 3 months, in between work and working extra hours or whatever. I done it quickly within 3 months. I just breezed through it. So yeah, there's tons of free material out there that you can take advantage of, and that will increase your chances of landing an opportunity. Also, the best part for me about being a data analyst is that nowadays everything is about data. Okay, every business that you can think of uses data to make business decisions, whether big or small, and that ultimately means lots of opportunities everywhere. You can't consider yourself a serious business if you don't use data to make business decisions. So that means everywhere you turn, whatever industry that you're working now, there's an opportunity there to become a data analyst. Okay, and if you one day, if you decide maybe whatever country that you're in, you're not too happy, or you want to try somewhere else, you go to another country around the globe, you can become a data analyst there. Everywhere around the world, everyone uses data to make decisions. Even us on a day-to-day basis, individuals, whether you're in data analytics or not, you're using data every day to make decisions. Before you leave your house, you check the weather. Is it cold? Okay, it's cold. So let me put on a jacket. You just made a database decision. We're making database decision every day of the week, and that makes it the more exciting, because everywhere you choose to go, you stand an opportunity. There's an opportunity there to become a data analyst, whether it's healthcare, whether it's the railway, whether it's retail, wherever it is. There's an opportunity there for some sort of analyst position in there, and that makes it very exciting as a data analyst. Also, another great thing that makes it easier to break into data analytics is the fact that as a data analyst, your soft skills actually matters. Okay, it's not so much about your technical skills. And for me, in fact, when I got hired, I'll probably say it's about 90% more of my soft skills than my technical side. Okay, they didn't focus in the recruitment stage. They didn't focus one bit in my technical side. It was more about my soft skills. They were able to tell whether I'll be able to do the technical things I need to do based on my soft skills. They looked at my soft skills and thought, okay, this guy, He looks like somebody that, he likes learning, and even if he doesn't know something, he'll go out of his way and find a way to solve that issue. That was enough for them. Okay, so as a data analyst, your soft skills is really key. Your communication skills, your adaptability skills, your critical thinking, problem solving, your um, presentation skills, and all these things that you probably have already in the organization or the industry that you're already working in. Okay, that can easily be transferable. you know those skills are not exclusive to being a data analyst. You can have it elsewhere, and you can bring that with you, and it really matters, wherever, when you decide to become a data analyst. So it's not just about learning all the complex and technical side of things. Your soft skills will also give you an opportunity, to break into that industry. Apart from your soft skills, another thing that can really serve you well is your domain knowledge. What you already know, what experience you already have, can really serve you well as a data analyst. And for me, like when I started applying for data analyst roles, I started within the previous company that I worked in. I worked in the railway sector, so I started applying for data analytics role within the railway. Okay, and that really helped. Although I didn't have much experience, I got considered for a few interviews, and although I didn't ultimately land the job in the end, but before, when I was applying for external job opportunities, I wasn't getting no love at all. Like, no one would even consider my application. But because I had almost 8 years of experience within the railway, they considered me, because they'll rather have somebody that knows how the railway works, and the culture and how things are there, and has a bit of a technical knowledge that that can be improved upon, than someone that comes from an external background with no um, railway experience at all. Because they wouldn't know how things work in the railway, and they might make a lot of mistakes or whatever. So that gave me an advantage. So as a data analyst, your domain knowledge, what you already know, really matters. So if, say, you work in the healthcare, or in retail or whatever, once you start looking into becoming a data analyst, you want to start with applying for jobs within the industry that you're already working, because that will serve you well. That will give you an advantage over someone that has no experience at all. So if you're looking for a career within tech that doesn't involve too much coding, I know coding does scare a lot of people off sometimes, or a career in tech that has a lower barrier to entry, then you should consider, becoming a data analyst. I'm not saying that to say it's the easiest job in the world or anything like that, but when you compare it to other tech roles, you know, the fact that you're able to take what you already know and what you have from other industries and school or wherever, and those things can give you an advantage, makes it easier than other jobs within tech. I hope you enjoyed this video and found some value in it. If you did enjoy this video, please do well to like and subscribe to my channel, as it will help me a lot. I'm really trying to grow this channel. This is a new channel that I started. I want to build a community where we can connect with each other, pick ideas from each other, help each other to grow. If you like this sort of thing, I really appreciate you if you can come on board and join this community. Listen, I've been Alex. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.